Hello my friends, this is Bernard from Parrot Forest. Last year I made a video on a trip to Parrot Village and this video got quite some attention. And today I want to tell you what the news are, what has happened over the past months. So first of all, I'd like to tell you where the village is. It's called Tuarojo and it's in the Ahanta West district, which is Cape 3 Points area of the Western region in Ghana. We kept the name secret for a while because we were afraid that it might attract poachers, but now we don't think that this is a problem anymore. Grey parrots in Africa, there are two species. One is Timneh, which is also called black-tailed grey parrot, which is in the west of West Africa. And then the red-tailed grey parrot, or Congo grey parrot, scientific name is Erytacus, and this is the one that we are talking about. That's the one indicated in the light red. This map shows you where the grey parrots have been living years ago. Not anymore, unfortunately. The Congo grey parrot, we find still a lot of them in Central Africa, even though the numbers are declining. We also find them in Cameroon or in east of Nigeria. But then if you go towards Togo, Ghana, they have almost disappeared completely. There are no reports of grey parrots anymore in Togo. And in Ghana, you might see single individuals. Sometimes they even go to Accra. Sometimes they have been seen there, but it's only one or two. It's not a flock. If you see any in the wild in Ghana, please let us know. This is very important information for us. The only place where they can still be found in small flocks is in Parrot Village. This is the last potentially viable group in Ghana, as far as we know. And this species is an iconic species, and it is also very important in local traditions. For instance, the Akan tribes, they come in family lines, and each family line has a totem animal. And one of these family lines has the grey parrot. Actually, my wife from her father's side, which is Fanti, this family has the parrot as their totem animal, or the ako, as we say in Ghana. So that's a coincidence, a nice coincidence. In these pictures, you see next to me a man from Parrot Village, and then you see Nathaniel Anorba. He is a lecturer from the University of Environment and Sustainable Development in Somalia, which is in the eastern region, and he is the expert on grey parrots, on parrots in general, and vultures in Ghana. My Austrian NGO, our Austrian NGO is Parrot Forest, and Nathaniel is in a Ghanaian NGO, which is called Pro Nature. It's a registered charity. These are small NGOs. When we travel, when we do our projects, previously I had to pay that out of my own pocket. But there's good news. We got a conservation grant from the World Parrot Trust, and we are very grateful for that. And this grant will at least cover our expenses for our conservation measures that we're doing there. Now, as you might know when you have seen the old videos, the parrots are not the only problem in and around the village. Another problem, a much bigger problem, is galamsey. In this village, the situation is even more problematic because their borehole is broken, and so they are forced to drink the surface water. But this water is now polluted. So the most important thing for now is to bring them a new borehole. And what we want to do is an installation like that with a poly tank. We had an agreement with the chief in the way that the chief says, okay, no more poachers allowed on his land, no more felling of any large kapuk trees which serve as nesting trees. That is very important. If the trees are gone, then the birds are gone too. And in exchange, we will offer some development for the village. Now, first of all, the borehole. The second good news is that we have collected 21,000 Ghana cedis. Major part is from a colleague from America. She and her husband, they donated this amount. The borehole cost now is 32,000 Ghana cedis, and we want to start as soon as possible. What is left open is 11,000 Ghana cedis. 11,000 Ghana cedis is 990 US dollars, or it is 840 euros. If you can support us just with a small amount, please let's help together so that we can start next week with the borehole. We are almost there. If there are additional funds, there is more work to do there. Actually, we need to fix the roof of the school and bring some electric installations. And moreover, I would really like to do some construction work there. They started to build a community center years ago, but they did never finish. So that's one thing that should be done. And then we also need visitor accommodation. Maybe you know I'm very interested in sustainable construction techniques. And what I want to do is to combine traditional local construction techniques, as you can see them here, like wattle and daub, which is the local technique there. In other parts of Ghana, they use other construction techniques. I would like to combine that with other environmentally friendly methods. And I'm not talking about cement, I'm talking about lime. Lime and clay fits together much better than if you add cement to such structures. There are three things in my life that I really love. One is my wife. The number two is being next to huge old trees in a tropical rainforest. This is what makes me happy. When I'm in a forest and I have these giants of trees next to me, it's just a very good feeling. And the third thing is parrots, of course, and especially when you see them in the wild, when you see them flying, when you hear them at night, when they start talking. I will not share the first of these three things with you, but but number two and number three, I would like to share with you. Okay, so that's why we need a visitor accommodation, so that people can come to the village, stay there overnight, observe these wonderful creatures, and enjoy these huge old kapok trees. That is what we are dreaming of right now. But what is really important now is to get the borehole for Duharojo as soon as possible. There is no time to waste anymore. We want to start next week, in 2 weeks latest. I'm not really good in fundraising, I have to admit, but please send us a little bit of money so that when we help together, all of us, we can start in a few days, because they really need the clean water now. That is the most important thing of all. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you so much for your support, and take care.